Did I talk too much? Was this too much to absorb? Hello there, everybody. It's me, your Star Wars dad. Do the liking and subscribing. And I thought I'd come on here. You guys know that just a couple days ago, I just started a brand new account from scratch. I don't know where I get 1,400 trophies right now. I'm not discarding my main account, but I want to start a new account to see what's going on out there in the game and maybe offer some tips. And I'm already seeing a lot of mistakes that I've talked to before. So let's talk. I don't know if it's not top 10 or whatever, but I want to talk about mistakes. These are mistakes that players make, and especially new players in the game. So here are a bunch of mistakes that you should not make. You know, make sure you're not doing these things when playing LEGO Star Wars Battles. So we'll start off right here on the main screen first. You should always have a scan working. Now, obviously you got to sleep at night, right? And probably when you go to bed, you should do a 2-hour basic bronze scan when you go to bed. But you shouldn't, if you want to be developing your roster and building up your collection and leveling up cards, you've got to have a scan going at all times. You need a scan working. So there, don't let time go by without a scan working to unlock it there. Second is play the events and finish the events. You can see here, I only got halfway through this event today. It was difficult because I was playing against people that had bigger decks than me, and they had like BB units where I don't have those yet. And that's a really, BB units, 1 Stormtrooper, 3 Porgs. That stuff I don't have yet on my new account, and it makes my decks very expensive. 3.6 is a super expensive deck, so I had a really hard time beating people in the events. But I'll come back and play it again. I'll finish this event. I still got 1 day and 7 hours. Make sure to finish the events and get all the free, not free, but get the scans and the rewards that are in the events. So make sure you play the events. You know, they're also a good training tool where you can try out different cards and everything. That brings us to our next tip. You gotta keep the cost of your deck down. You can see mine's at 3.6, and I really don't have a lot of opportunities here to lower it. The cards you need to have active to lower the cost of your deck, primarily like BB-8, 3 Porgs, I just mentioned them. Those are cards, if I put them in for like my Rebel Commandos and the Sniper, I could lower the cost of this deck to like 3. On the dark side, same thing, 3.6 is way too much. Your deck should be around 3, and on the dark side might be maybe like 2.8, 2.9, because on the dark side I can put in the seismic charge, but I can put in 2 battle droids. I can put in BB-9, who only costs 1. I can put in 1 Stormtrooper only. I have more cards available to me that cost less. You need to keep this average cost, minus 3.6 right now. It is impossible, and I'm telling you right now, once you get to the higher planets, let's say, I'm not sure exactly where, but when you get up to like, when do we unlock those units? So we get those units unlocked. There's R2 and C2. There's 1 Stormtrooper back here. Where are the BB units? When do I get those here? My goodness, how long does it take me to get BB units unlocked? Did I miss it before? Maybe I just haven't unlocked them yet and they're available earlier. Let me go back here. I know they're available earlier. Yeah, so, you know, once you get up to like Kashyyyk, Naboo, Kamino, it's going to be very difficult to win unless your decks are around 3 at a max cost. You're not going to be able to go in with 3.6 average cost decks and win at those higher levels. So don't let your cost go high on the game. Another thing that mistake people are making, it's a couple here, it's kind of hard. There are units in the shop that you should be spending your crystals on. What should they be early on? That's a really good question. I think there's a lot of value to waiting and then actually purchasing a character like Yoda. Yoda is OP on the light side, completely overpowered on the light side if used properly. I have several videos out there how to use Yoda. You should pay attention to those. You should try to get Yoda in your roster as quick as possible. It costs 1,000 just to unlock him, and he makes a huge difference on your team. That said, some of these cards early, and I've already purchased them, are really amazing cards. Cards like the Tauntaun, Particle Beams, Ewoks, I was able to purchase in there. We'll go over here to the dark side. The Tauntaun and Ewoks are really, really good cards you can buy in that shop. Over on the dark side, the Particle Beam, and I think I purchased the Mandalorian Heavy Infantry. He's a really good defensive unit. Can even be used in offense as you use him right. Somebody else on the dark side that would be available in the shops, that'd be a really good idea to purchase in there for you, would be, where is he? Right down here. Unlocks on Exegol, bottom left down there, Klatooinian Raider. I can't do it. He is completely awesome in this game. Changes the whole meta on the dark side, changes everything about it. So if you could buy those cards, do but you're not going to be in bad shape at all if you just save up and purchase Yoda for 1,000 crystals early on. So save those crystals, have meaning in them. Don't just go wasting them on units like, don't bother with Duros. And I guess that's another mistake that new players make. Leveling up cards like Ewok Glider, Duros, the tanks, the Clone Bomber maybe, the Flame Towers are useless. These are useless cards. Probe Droid, AT-AT, Flame Towers, those are not good cards. They feel good early because they work really good early in the game. They fade very quickly. You're not going to be able to use these cards effectively as you climb up planets that are not worth upgrading. Don't spend anything on those cards. There's other cards as well. The AT-RT Rex is not a good card. It's unfortunate. The Gungans, you should not be investing in Gungans. I guess we can go through. Maybe I'll make a video about all the cards not to invest in. I've done it before. Maybe we need to redo that one. You can look at my tier lists as well. We got lots of stuff out there for that. Now let's do something here. I'm going to watch a couple of battles, maybe one, but we'll see. I'm going to watch a battle here, and I'm going to tell you some of the mistakes that my opponent makes in these battles. And, you know, these are the things you should not do during... Those are the things to not do when you're building up your roster. These are the things to not do during gameplay. Some mistakes... A lot of mistakes are being made. There's nothing wrong with dropping Darth Vader like that. A level 9 Darth Vader down here can be really, really effective. Now, what you should do instead of those battle droids right there, build a middle tower. Build the middle tower. Get the advantage of that and make it happen. Now he builds the middle tower. That's not so bad, but those battle droids are really easy to kill right there. You just saw it. I can kill all that stuff easily. That wasn't a horrible, horrible play, but not the best play for sure. Now he's pushing the advantage. One thing the early players do, and I see this guy doing it right now, we'll see, is every time they get energy, they spend it. I have very early videos going where people reliably, and reliably in a bad way, I mean, they get energy, they spend it. They get energy, look at that. He's had energy, he spent it. Had energy, spent it. I built a tower there. He gets 3 energy. Does he play the Probe Droid? He's waiting until 4, maybe. And, okay, yeah, wow, that's a gigantic error. So this right here, he feels really good about this AT-AT. It costs 7, right? Or it's a level 7 AT-AT. So granted, that thing's going to do a lot of damage against my level 5 tower, right? But it's going to take forever to get there. And he even dropped it back. He could have dropped it farther forward. But you know what he's doing here? By dropping that AT-AT up in the middle, he's ignoring the fact that I have a forward tower on him right now. Look at me. I have 7 energy saved and a forward tower because he just spent 4 on that AT-AT. That AT-AT better finish the game right now or he's in serious trouble because I got a forward tower. I can drop units directly. Let it go ahead and play. Generally speaking, the AT-AT and the Clone Tank are not good units in general to play. Specifically speaking, you can't ignore the danger that's on your doorstep. Look at the exchange here. His AT-AT comes down, I kill with the Ewoks, his tower, and then he bombers my tower? That's a horrible... Don't use bombers on towers. If you're not going to kill the tower, don't use a bomber on it. You can check the damage that your bomber is going to do by putting your finger on it. Just hold it there. You can see how much damage your bomber does compared to the damage on the tower. If your bomber's not going to either kill the tower or damage multiple units or kill multiple units in the process, don't use your bomber. That's a mistake. You just gave away 4 energy there for nothing. Now, I got my boom balls on a little bit late there. So, yeah, there's some real mistakes that can happen in the game. The biggest one there was just ignoring the fact. He's ignoring this tower up here. Now, he drops the sniper in the middle. That's actually, I don't think that's a horrible play. I actually kind of like that play, although what he should have done was he should have dropped it on this side of the barrier, closer to his tower, because then the barrier would protect it. Now, because he's giving me so much energy advantage, I have 2 turbo lasers in his end. I put a sniper in the middle. Again, he's ignoring all the danger directly on his doorstep and dropping a tank. I don't get it. You know, it's like, hey, there's a burglar on the doorstep, but my mortgage is overdue. I'm gonna go make sure I pay the mortgage while this guy's breaking into the house. No, you gotta kill the guy breaking into your house. I mean, if he's breaking the house, you gotta kill him, right? I mean, you gotta take care of that guy breaking into your house before you go pay the mortgage. Don't worry. You know, there's immediate danger and there's danger down the road. You can't ignore the immediate danger in in sacrificing the danger that's right in front of your face. Now, here's another one I want to see. Was it this guy? I think it was this guy. Let's watch here and see. I'm sure I can pull it out. One other thing that I've really seen people doing is they're playing champions and not using their specials. Guys, you've got an ultimate or special ability on that champion. It loads up quickly when you drop. The first time you drop them, that special ability loads up quickly. Use it. Use it. Okay, this is a bad play. This is a bad play. He's already spent 7 energy. That Tauntaun's just going to go down there and die. Then I've got a counter push going. Don't use a Tauntaun. Don't use expensive units like Tauntaun to establish a position early in the game. That is not the way to do it. Try to drop something small or establish a lane. Don't drop Tauntaun down the middle. He's kind of gifted me the middle tower there. And what I'm going to do is build that middle particle beam. By the way, particle beam is the best tower in the game. I'm going to bring my Tusken left. Now that was pretty good. You got to learn the counters. Learning the counter. Now, a clone bomber is like the perfect counter to a battalion of battle droids. Perfect. My flamer is going to be a great everything counter. Ewok glider, by the way. Don't play Ewok glider. That's a mistake. I already told you that. Now watch this Yoda. I'm pretty sure he's going to have his special loaded up. No, he didn't get it. That Yoda was dropped way too close. That Yoda should have been dropped back by the X-Wing so that by the time he got up close to that flame tower, he could have popped his special, his shield, and what he could have done was he could have dropped like Ewoks on top of that Yoda, pop the shield, protect all of it, then it takes care, it's shielded. Don't drop Yoda close to the middle, drop him deep. Drop that champion deep so they can build up their special by the time they get to that middle tower. That was not a bad play. I play a 4-cost sniper. He plays a 4-cost bomber. A lot of times that's your only real play against a sniper, so that was not a horrible play right there. I didn't see what he had available, but not a horrible play. A lone Tauntaun on your middle particle beam, you got to learn how to partner units together and use them together. Now, let's talk about a couple things. You got to learn how to use units together, like a Tauntaun with a bomber, a Tauntaun with a BB-8. Put units together. Make them partners in the game. Use them together. I got plenty of videos where you can watch that and see it happening. Something else that happens here. Don't drop units. You got to know that Darth Vader has a special. You got to know that a high seismic charge. You have to know the cards the other person has in their deck and where they are in their cycle. That's a skill you got to work at to know what they've got coming up next. You have to know I have seismic charge coming. You can't drop your Ewoks on top of your tower, because even if my seismic charge doesn't come, I'm going to use my Vader special and wipe them out anyway. I had so many ways to kill those Ewoks, it's not even funny. And I still have my Vader special loaded right now. I can drop the battle droids to the right. You got to learn the counters, you got to learn the special abilities. That stuff comes with experience, but you've got to learn that stuff. It's a mistake not to be learning how the units work, what works best against them, how to counter them. Porgs are a very good counter, actually, for a Tusken Raider, but he should have just dropped it directly on him. That's a waste of 3 energy. Don't waste energy. Wasting energy when he already had his units beat, and he still dropped the Ewok glider. Again, don't use the Ewok glider, but he dropped the Ewok glider there when he already had my units beat. Don't spend extra energy when you've already got the unit beat on that turn. Don't do that. That guy, what did he have available? He had Yoda available. He had Ewoks available. At least one of those 2 available to counter those stormtroopers. Those stormtroopers are not going to hurt him. They only cost 3. Stormtroopers cost 3. Bomber costs 4. Don't exchange bad energy for good whenever possible. Don't spend 4 energy to kill 3. Don't spend 7 energy to kill 4. When you do that, you lose. You will lose energy. You'll lose the game. Don't do that. These are mistakes that players are making. New players. We all do that occasionally. Every now and then we end up exchanging more energy. If you can build an attack, again, there's we'll call it the naked Tauntaun. It's a Tauntaun without any support. There's no BB unit. Get the Tauntaun down there, and then there it is again. He puts all the Porgs and Ewoks together, and they're all within range of 1 seismic charge. Don't put a bunch of units. On the dark side, don't bunch a bunch of units together where a Booble Balls can get them. On the light side, don't bunch them together where 1 seismic charge can get them. That bomber he played there at the end was actually pretty good. It killed a bunch of units all at once. Did I talk too much? Was this too much to absorb? I know it's a lot of fanatical energy. Watch it back. Let me give some overall big tips here, okay? Keep your decks cheap. Always have scans going. Plan out how you spend your energy. How you spend your crystals. You don't have to spam units. When you get 3 energy, you can save. You can save up to 10 energy and then counter your opponent. You don't have to spend it all when you get it. Know your counter attacks. Don't spend 4 energy to kill 3. Don't spend 7 energy to kill 4, wherever possible. Don't bomber a tower that's not going to die by that bomber, unless you have multiple targets on there that you're also killing. Don't bomb a sniper. If you can hit a bomber on a sniper and also hit a tower at the same time, or hit other units at the same time, do it. Hit as much as you can with those trike cards. Don't play all your units together in bunches, because they're all going to get killed. Make sure to use your champion's abilities, and there's more stuff in there as well. Manage your energy, guys. That's it. These are the mistakes that players are making, and a lot of new players that I'm seeing here are making these mistakes. Don't make these mistakes. Become a better player. Take care of yourself. Climb those ranks. And while you're doing that, tune into the channel, subscribe, like everything. Let me pop a little like. And what do we got here for fun? We got yellow pointing newts. Like and subscribe for more tips on the game, to understand the game, to see. I've got a bunch of content here. You can find the game to learn what's going on. And while you're doing all of that, hope you have a great day. And always remember, Nooch Too Good.